Okay, there we go. All right, looks like we're live. Evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to the Wind Waker. You'll forgive me sounding a little off. I just got finished sneezing. I'm just getting over a cold, so we'll see. I think I'm all right, but I may do that a bit. I apologize in advance. I'm having some coffee though. That's nice. That's keep me going. Also, my other beverage is this a new cocktail I've discovered, I suppose. Um, it's based on a bunch of recipes I've seen and whatnot. It is what I have come to call a flat Dr. Pepper, based on what my wife thought when she smelled it, because it does. Yeah, it smells exactly like flat Dr. Pepper. It is frozen muddled raspberries and amaretto. Very good though. Very, very good. Anyway, so as the thumbnail might indicate, we're doing some more side quests tonight. That means that among other things, we need a ton more rupees. And hold on, part of how we're going to get them is that chest, which I assume has rupees in it. If it doesn't have rupees in it, it might have a piece of heart in it, which is nice too. So yeah, we've still got a bunch more side quests to do. There's a ton of stuff to do in terms of the island trading. There's plenty of other islands to visit. And oh, okay, well, darn. Okay, I missed. Oops. Sorry. Try again. I also need to get a whole ton more rupees because we're going to have to do the... we're going to do more auctions. And we need a lot of rupees as well. Well, from Canadian... Wait, hold on. Canadian Florida. You're going to have to explain that to me. What do you mean Canadian Florida? In any case, hi. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, Heartflower, welcome. But also, what exactly do you mean Canadian Florida? Oh, it's a piece of art. All right, cool. All right, but right when I need a ton of rupees. But I can do I can go through looking for treasure, sunken treasure to get rupees. All else fails. But yeah, so um. Let me see. I forget what the good rupee farming stuff is in this game. I know there is some. Excuse me again. I may at some point have to get up to get a tissue. I apologize. I do so sincerely apologize. We could just jump straight into the next couple of dungeons. That's an option. But I don't want to yet, quite frankly. Actually, no, we don't need to do the next dungeons. We would need to do Gale Isle or not Gale Isle. We need to do Fire and Ice Islands first. But to do that, we need to find we need to find some treasures like that. Interesting shape. No. Maybe. No. No. Is it orientated correctly? I assume it is. Oh, Nova Scotia is Canadian Florida. Because we get the tail end of your hurricanes. We have people that end up in situations you find in Florida, and rich retirees. You know, yeah, all right, makes sense. I buy it. I don't know if you guys are quite. Oh, it's got to be that, right? No, it's not. I don't know if you guys are. Oh, it's Private Oasis. Okay, cool, 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 cool. I don't know if you guys are quite deranged enough to call yourselves Canadian Florida, but I'll accept it. Need to go to the Private Oasis, which is just past the Tower of the Gods. All right, so let's sail. Let's go. Oh yeah, we set the lighthouse ablaze last time. That's nice. All right. Well, on we go. A nice evening sail. We started classes today. Finally. It seems like it's been put off forever. Mostly because I know that most other schools, whether that's other universities or even especially like K-12, started 1 or 2 or some even 3 weeks ago. So we're doing a late start. And I've got an even later start, frankly, because I'm not having class on Thursday. Um, we have a modified schedule at St. Leo Thursday, which would mean that my 9:30 a.m. class is meeting at 8 a.m. and no one signed up for that. I didn't. My students sure didn't. I'm not making them do that. Um, and classes would be shortened to just 50 minutes anyway. So I'm not. Yeah, for the first real day of classes after the syllabus stuff, I'm no, it's not worth it. It's not worth actually going for me or for any of my students. So we're not doing class on Thursday. So um, instead, we're visiting with some out of town relatives who are in town this week, um, which should be nice. Should be fun. We're gonna go swim in the pool. We're gonna hang out with a couple of my cousins from up north, from up in Connecticut. Came down this week, so we get to hang out with all the kids and everything. So should be good. Should be a good time. Far better than what would almost certainly be mostly wasted series of class periods. So, we'll pick it up next week with our logic stuff. Which I tell you what, while I'm sailing, I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna try and do this as the semester goes through. I'm going to put my course lectures that are relevant to whatever it is that we happen to be talking about during the week. And so, therefore, some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about on the stream, I'll put links to those in the description, and then as it gets closer, in the Discord, I'll put them in probably the philosophy channel where relevant. So if you guys are interested in following along with my classes, you guys can do so. There's currently 4, and I need to record a 5th one. One that is more in depth about propositions and opinions. Hey John, welcome. Good to see you. But yeah, it's I'm gonna be recording that other one relatively soon. Hopefully next week in class I will be recording part of one of my classes, and I'll be using it as a sort of explanation, description of the difference between propositions and opinions. I already have one video on it, but it's one of my real pet peeves, and I didn't focus on it sufficiently, I don't think, in that video. So that's one of the things I got coming. All right, let's see. Let's do that. I forget how to get into the private oasis. Is it right here? Did I catch it? No. I passed it. By a fair amount. Right there. I think. Here we go. Markflower said, we had someone last summer steal a school bus. Park said school bus on the side of the road in rural area to sleep in it and then try and incite a chase with police. All right, okay, you know, okay. I have to admit that is quite an impressive story. I will grant you that. That's a good one. Okay, so that's one of the fairy islands. Which one though? Oh, jeez. Wrong button. Western. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're gonna need to, like I said, oh, I could warp, couldn't I? Yeah, I'll warp. Oh, wait. Yeah, Great Fish is right next to it. That'll work. Anyway, so yeah, class stuff's going well so far. There's not much. I mean, we just talked about the syllabus and things today, so I got to talk about, not plagiarizing and not abusing AI, which is always important, It's important to go over these days. But oh wait, I have to check my chart, don't I? Yeah, what I thought. I was saying to my classes that I'm actually quite optimistic. I'm trying a friendly approach this time, with respect to the use of AI, because it's not hard to catch, but it's really hard to prove. So I don't want it to have to deal with it. I'd like to work with my students instead of against them. So my thought is that basically I explain to my students that I am generally pretty optimistic about the usefulness of new educational tools, right? And that includes AI, right? AI, all the various kinds of cool AI software that we have nowadays. I think that there are some really good use cases for using it for education, right? For proofreading, for helping with research, for developing ideas, for tutoring. Basically, you have your very own little private tutor to help you to bounce ideas off of, to help you refine your ideas, to help explain a concept that you might not understand, to summarize texts and things like that, right? That go beyond just, hey, write this paper for me, right? That kind of thing, obviously terrible. Don't do that. You're wasting everyone's time if you do. But if it's more like, if you're using it as a resource instead of just having it do the work for you or trying to have it do the work for you, then I do think that it can be phenomenally useful. Oh, hold on. No? There we go. There we go. Great. Blow up one more. Ooh, John's making Cajun fries. Ooh, that was close. Okay. Need to go up there now. Surprisingly mild. Depends on the Cajun seasoning, really. You can get some really powerfully flavorful Cajun seasoning. I wish I could get it, actually, now that I say that. But the one that it's a store brand one. It's a Winn-Dixie store brand one that they don't always have, and it's incredibly flavorful. There's a ton of spice to it. It's pretty significantly hot, but not purely. It's not just spicy. It's very good. It's hard to get a hold of, though. Like I said, unfortunately. Oh. Really? Well, that did barely anything except waste bombs, so I'm disappointed. Oh well. But yeah, I used the last of it that I had of this Cajun seasoning. I used the last of it recently to make some boiled peanuts, which turned out really good. It hit, I think, just about the perfect balance between like spicy and salty, and not overly much so. Oops, I think I passed it. Oh man, did I pass it? Oh wait, no, that's the wrong chart. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I didn't keep going though. There, that should do it. Reply says, also the first part of my name is Pinyin, romanticized Mandarin. Pronounced Shinrei. Oh, Ray? I never would have guessed. I would have thought Jin? That was Jinrei? Jin? So, I didn't know Ray. But Shinrei. Or Heartflower. Oh, so it's the same as the resting. Okay, so it's translation. Oh, okay, cool. It's the Mandarin name my first year Mandarin professor gave me for class. Oh, very cool. I like it. Alright, there we go. That's, not enough. I can carry 1,000. What is that? Eh? Ice ring? No. Ah, here it is. Horseshoe. Horseshoe Island. Okay. Okay, so the fries are spicy sweet with Cajun and sweet mesquite. Ooh, that's a good combination. I dig it. I really dig it. Yeah, it's a good combination. I like that. Cajun has some sweetness to it traditionally, not as much as like oh shoot, what's it called? Like Creole seasoning tends to be like a sweeter version. But blending it with like a sweet kind of barbecue or a smoky, sweet and smoky, really, but even just a kind of sweet, almost brown sugary kind of barbecue, I think that'd be really good. I think that'd be really good. Or maybe Erica's just influencing my barbecue palate. Because whenever we barbecue just about anything, it's mostly brown sugar. Yeah, I did too. I already ate. Sorry. It's John's fault. Let's blame him. I already also ate, but I'm also a little hungry now. What in the world? Banger, man. Oh, look. A little ring of light. There it is. Yeah, we went to Beef O'Brady's today, and the kids were actually well enough behaved, both before going to the restaurant and at the restaurant, to actually play in the arcade. So they mostly did the crane game, the candy crane game though, the one that actually like gets you stuff. So they wound up with a bunch of candy. They did this cute little mini game, which was fun. It was basically like an arcade version of Mario Party, but not Mario. Best description I can give for it. It sounds fun. That Saoirse got to do a racing, like an actual driving racing game. Cruising something, one of the cruising ones. She had fun with that too. So it was not long enough though. She basically did like the 3 laps and was like, that's it. So it was like $1 for 3 laps. So yeah. But Claw was fun. They had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun with that because it was giving them constant candy. So you know how kids are. Constant candy. That's an easy win. Easy win. Anyway, yeah. So I just had some nice Nashville hot wings. They've got really good like a Nashville dry rub. They're at Beaver Brady's. I have a Nashville dry rub that I use for a lot of I use it for a lot of the use it for a lot of barbecue. It's really good. I'll tell you what, the Nashville seasoning I've got is great on smoked chicken gizzards, which is maybe the weirdest thing for it to be really, really good on, but man, it's great. What a loser. You blew up your buddy. Oh, no, okay, well, I spoke too soon. Okay, I've got to move over there, don't I? Flower says, every time I hear about a Claw game, my brain goes to the aliens and Toy Story. Yeah, absolutely. It's either that or the episode of Bluey, or some combination thereof. The Magic Claw. Nope. There we go. Welcome back, Imsip. Good to see ya. Yeah, the like I said, their Nashville hot seasoning is really, really good. The Beef O'Brady's one. Oh, jeez, really? I'd rather not be blown up. Thanks. Did I hit them both? Yeah, nice. The golden feather. I need it. I need it. I need it. I want it. I need it. I want it. I need it. Wait, I can just do this. Cool. That pea hat is menacing. Look at it. It's a sea hat, not pea hat. Pea hats are the little ones. The less menacing ones. What does the skull remind you of Jack Skellington? It's absolutely the art style. Like this cel-shaded art style does absolutely remind me of like the claymation from Nightmare Before Christmas, among others. Get closer so I can kill you. Week's been pretty good so far. Not bad. Oh, you never seen Nightmare Before Christmas? It's pretty good. It's not my favorite Halloween movie or Christmas movie because it tries to split the difference. It's very Tim Burton. It's very Tim Burton. It's like it's definitely just a Tim Burton kids movie. So yeah, if you like Tim Burton stuff, whimsical and spooky, then you'll like it. I needed that. Needed that. Oh, wait. I know what I need to do here. Ah, look at that. The Flash gets Nightmare Before Christmas bit? I have no idea what you're talking about. Not a clue. Yes, it is absolutely a theater kids movie. As a vaguely spooky, a little bit edgy, very, very alternative in its aesthetics, musical. Yeah, it's very theater kid. Yeah, AmSimp, like I was saying earlier, we just started classes this week. So today was my first class, hence, dressing like a grown-up, rather than as a dad. So it was fun. We got, basically, it's a Latino goth movie? I can see that. It's very much not like Candy Skulls in particular, though, so I don't know about Latino. I can see that being aesthetically close enough to fit, but it's not. I don't think it's intentionally or specifically Latino. But yes, I do think that most Mexican girls are obsessed with it. That's true. But don't get me wrong. There's plenty of white girls who are obsessed with it too. Give me that. Die. There's plenty of white girls who are absolutely just as obsessed with Night Before Christmas. So. No. Do I have to go back? I do, don't I? Okay. That's fine, I guess. I don't need that. Alright. Golden Feather. Alright, not bad, not bad. I know I need those for some side quest. I forget which. We'll also eventually need more bombs. I wasted a ton of them doing that. Anyway, like I was saying, my current syllabus statement for AI is that if I have reason to believe that you used AI in whole or in part to generate, if your submission is AI generated in whole or in part, it's phrased that way specifically, then I reserve the right to require an oral evaluation in place of or in addition to your written submission. So if you write something and I think it's probably, come on, I know. If I think it is likely AI generated, basically how I handle that is I say, hey, tell me about your paper. And if you can successfully tell me about your paper, basically if you can explain it to me sufficiently, and to convince me that you actually know what you're talking about, then you know what? If you used AI to polish it, I'm not all that upset. The whole point of the assignment, of any writing assignment, is to make sure that you actually understand the material. And so if you actually do understand the material, and you still used AI for some components, like polishing or whatever, you know what? It's not the end of the world. I'm not that concerned about it. What I'm concerned about is that you actually understand the material sufficiently and can present it in a reasonable way. That is the best way that I've come up with to deal with the AI problem, and I have had to confront some students about it, and in some cases, they will just ghost me, in which case their assignment gets a 0. So, great, cool, your assignment gets a 0. In other cases, I've actually talked to these students, and some of them absolutely do know what they're talking about, and they just used AI to sort of polish or correct or supplement their ideas, right? In a relatively I would say in a kind of innocent way. I mean, it's not. It's very clearly not in an innocent way because they should not have done so, and they knew they should not have done so, but they tried to get away with it. The problem is, though, they tried to get away with something that they didn't need to get away with in a lot of these cases. Because... Oh. Okay, must turn back. Oh, cool. Wait. Whoa, we're going fast. Alright, okay, let's go back now. Outset? Is there anything on Outset I need? I think I can go... No, I need the gauntlets, I think, to go pick up the big stone head. Because it's the fairy fountain on Outset. Yeah, he's got an outboard motor now, I guess. Yeah, right. Let me see. Dragon Roost? I gotta remember who I need to give the feathers to. I know it's a Rito. Or a Rudo? Birdman. For his girlfriend. Yeah. Heartflower says the only AI tool I've ever really used for paper writing in university was Grammarly to tighten my grammar and such, but otherwise I never used it to actually help writing papers. Grammarly is something that I will directly and explicitly recommend to students, which is also part of why I think it would be, like, honestly pretty hypocritical of me to say no using AI tools for your papers, right? That would be just wildly hypocritical, especially if I say don't use AI tools. Grammarly, though, great. You can use this primitive AI tool to help you write your paper. You can't, though, use the more sophisticated AI tools because that's bad for some reason. See what I mean? I hate this. Like, I hate the Ludditism that so many people get suckered into when it comes to AI stuff. Like I said, I really do think that there are some great beneficial and ethical use cases for AI tools, but that there were also really disastrous use cases. Which, I mean, to be fair, most of the current use cases are disastrous. Most of the cases of AI that I've seen, excuse me, have been abuses rather than uses. I don't need any of that. Sorry, Beetle. I don't know. But, like I said, I do think that it can be very useful. Like Grammarly. Grammarly is a great example. Imsim says my mentor, who's a history teacher, believes so. I'm covering his classes for 2 weeks, and I'm starting to see his point. There's a lot of wannabe gangsters on our campus, and he believes they should be in trade school instead. Wait, believes what? Oh, here we go. Imsim says, do you think the age to drop out of school should be lowered to 15? I'm against compulsory schooling laws entirely. Does that answer your question? I think truancy laws are absolutely ridiculous. I'm to some degree personally affected by them because they get in the way of homeschooling to a great degree. Like for example, right now we had to very recently go through this application and evaluation process to prove to the state and the county that no, we really are. Don't worry, we're really doing homeschool. We're not just saying that. For Saoirse, because she's first grade now, so it's we got to be official, and it's ridiculous. Like it's it's intrusive into the parent-child relationship, which is should be as close to sacrosanct as any social relationship, perhaps outside of husband and wife marriage. But the family in general should never be intruded upon by the state under any circumstances, and I do mean that. I think even grave abuse cases can and should be handled by other interested family members, and by interested I mean with a familial interest in the case, right? So yes, they can involve the state, but if they aren't involving the state, I don't think the next door neighbor or the teacher has any right or reason to intrude upon that and bring the state in and involve the state. Like I let me put it this way. There's a very short list. Actually, no, that's not true. There's a very long list of federal and state government agencies that I would like to see eliminated. There's a very long list, and it includes all of them. But very near the top of that list, I have a very hard time deciding between like 4 or 5 of them. Absolutely the CIA, which is a rogue organization that does horrible things to good people the world over, obviously. The IRS, which is the sole mechanism by which the state retains its power. So that's got to be close to the top of the list, right? The IRS is way up there as far as eliminate this organization and all of the problems go away. Even fiat currency, by the way, which is why I tend to put the IRS above the Federal Reserve. But the Federal Reserve is also up there. It's on the list. It's way up there, way high up on the list. So yeah, end the Fed, but also end the IRS. And if you end the IRS, the Fed loses all of its power because without the IRS, without the taxing authority, the dollar loses its hegemonic status, right? There is no otherwise. There's nothing backing the dollar aside from the fact that you have to pay your taxes in dollars. That's it. That's the only thing that backs the dollar. So there you go. If you eliminate so that's why I would probably put the IRS above the Fed. So the CIA, Federal Reserve, FBI, or not FBI. Well, I mean, yeah, FBI, but that's lower. That's way lower on the list. I would say the ATF, just because they do more horrible things to more innocent people than almost any other organization in the federal government. But their actual like core mission is, 1, not as heinous as a lot of these others, and 2, they're a division of the IRS. So if we get rid of the IRS, the ATF goes away too. So there we go, problem solved. Now, there's one. Usually, I think it's typically a state organization that would not be eliminated by eliminating the IRS. That absolutely needs to go away. And that is Child Protective Services. CPS is a terrorist organization. Yeah, of course, eliminate the EPA. It's not as disastrous as a lot of these others, but yeah, absolutely get rid of it. Get rid of it. It does nothing but get in the way of good people doing productive things. That's all. That's all it does. I especially despise the EPA as a Floridian. Whenever anyone says the word wetlands, I just fly into a rage. Because the EPA's definition of wetlands is literally land that's wet. That's it. But yeah, okay, so why CPS is a terrorist organization, and I mean that very seriously and very literally. I am not exaggerating at all. This is completely serious. I'm not even doing that thing that I do sometimes where I'm just kind of putting forward an idea to try and figure out if it's true or not. No, this is one that I've thought through very, very carefully. CPS is a terrorist organization. Child Protective Services essentially does, it is a method to coerce people into behaving a certain way by threatening a separate third party who is necessarily innocent in the situation one whom is always and absolutely cared for by the person who is being coerced and threatened. That is basically the definition of terrorism. It is threatening an innocent third party. In other words, Child Protective Services threatens parents with the removal or, in many cases, direct harm to their children if those parents do not comply with various edicts. It is a terrorist organization, and it is one of the most evil organizations, or set of organizations, because they're state level. But CPS, the various organizations of CPS, are some of the most evil organizations on the planet. Every single one needs to be completely eliminated, and everyone involved should probably be tried and potentially executed. Maybe not all of them executed, because a lot of them don't realize the horrors that they're inflicting on people, but a lot of them do, and a lot of them are very willing to do so. This is especially the case when CPS is weaponized by other agencies, which is actually shockingly and disturbingly common when the IRS will threaten to call CPS if parents don't incriminate themselves, for example, or the ATF, which is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Again, branch of the IRS will threaten to call CPS if parents don't do such and such, or prosecutors will threaten CPS with parents who do not testify against, even testify against one another. The prosecutors will often use threats of CPS to override the immunity to testifying against one's spouse. This is a very common situation. It's horrific, and it needs to be ended. It is probably the number one governmental organization that I would like to see eliminated. Probably above the CIA, probably above the IRS. And that's really saying something, because I think eliminating the IRS would solve almost every problem in our country, but not all of them, because CPS would probably still have some level of power. I don't know. Federal office? Probably never. Local? I don't know. If I can gather enough of a following, I don't know. Maybe soon. Thinking about it. Really, genuinely, honestly thinking about it. I mean, the other thing is, the other issue with running for office, for me, is I'm poor and I'm busy. And also, I would realistically be wanting to run for something relatively local, and honestly, most of our local governments around where I live are not terrible. I mean, I'm sure they're not great, but they're not terrible. So there's not as much for me to fix as if I were still living, say, in Tampa. There's a lot to fix in Tampa. But like up here in the middle of nowhere, it's not nearly as bad. So I don't know. Probably I might still, regardless. Looking into it, I've looked into it a little bit. I know the Libertarian Party puts a lot of effort into local elections that are easily winnable, so that we can just sort of push the margin ever so slightly, and also get libertarian-minded people into the sort of political machine. So, there you go. John says, one of my favorite things is when anarchists run for office. That actually got me involved in politics from the start. So, oh no, not quite. First political campaign I worked for was Alexander Snitker for U.S. Senate. He ran against Marco Rubio in 2010. Yeah, I think it was 2010. He was great, fantastic. Generally, just a sort of relatively generic libertarian, but he was a great guy. He was really, really just sort of down to earth, pretty nerdy dude, but he was also good and charismatic and could do the politician thing. And he got like one of the highest vote totals for a libertarian running for Senate that Florida's ever seen. He got I think he got close to 10% or something. But it was a good campaign. He's a fun guy. It was great. Got me into politics. After that, though, there's a guy named Adrian Wiley. Again, libertarian, anarchist, ran for governor of Florida. And this was against Jeb Bush's second term, so this must have been 2012? I forget. I don't remember. It was while I was in college, though. It might have been 2010. Might have been 2010. I don't remember. In any case, he has been driving without a license since then. And he has been essentially challenging various law enforcement, various levels of law enforcement, to cite him for it because he wants to take the case to the Supreme Court for the real ID requirement. So basically the digital ID database. And he wants to challenge that at the Supreme Court. But no one will pull him over. Or if they do, they won't cite him for driving without a license. This has been going on for like 15 years. Basically every law enforcement agency in the state of Florida knows this guy and is like, don't ticket this son of a bitch. It's incredible. I can't believe that he's still at this, but he's still doing it. Like it's one of his major issues, and it seems like a minor thing, but it really is a big deal that we have like a national ID database, which is again something I've been campaigning against for 15 years, but what are you gonna do? It's fantastic. It's phenomenal. Will I reorganize the Republic into the first American Empire? My imperialist days are long past, Yip Simp. I apologize. Had I ran for office while I was in high school, when I was let me put it this way. When I was in high school in 2007, when I saw live the Giuliani Ron Paul Giuliani moment at the debate, I absolutely took Giuliani's side, and I thought Ron Paul was some crazy kook who was like blaming America and was probably some kind of commie or something. It took me a couple of years to come around on that, and I'm really embarrassed by my political views in high school. So, at that time, yes, I would have reorganized the Republic into the first American Empire. Then again, the U.S. has been an empire for how long has it been since Lincoln? 150 years, give or take. Imsims, that means a lot. Yeah, I'm everything you aspire to be. With a by the way, those of you who weren't here yet when I talked about this is a new favorite cocktail of mine. Not my favorite exactly, but it's very good. I call it a flat Dr. Pepper, partially named by Erica, because of the smell, because it smells like flat Dr. Pepper. Specifically flat Dr. Pepper. It is frozen muddled raspberries in amaretto. Very nice. Oh, John, you voted for Mitt Romney in 2012. Voted for Gary Johnson in 2012, which is almost as bad. The Libertarian Party is so good at embarrassing itself. It's not even funny. Actually, it is funny. It's hilarious. Look at Chase Oliver and any part of his Twitter account. It's hilarious, but I don't have to like it. I didn't vote for president in 2016. I left it blank. So yeah, there's that. Actually, wait, no, I didn't vote at all in 2016. Did I? No, because it was midterm. It was the Florida gubernatorial elections are offset, so it was 2018, 2022. So no, I didn't vote in 2016. No, I had tacos instead. The most important Taco Tuesday of our lifetime. Heartflower, I saw your question about the ATF. I will get back to it. John can talk about it a lot more than I can, honestly. He hates the ATF even more than I do, which is really saying something, but I will get onto that in a minute. Imsim says, if my fantasy book ever takes off into a film, I have you make a cameo as the Emperor's chief advisor. Sure, you know what? Fine. All right. If you need him to be at all nefarious, you can totally have him execute me. Death scenes are always fun. Our flower asks, anarchist running for office, that makes no sense to me. The whole point of anarchy is to be against the establishment. Yeah, you can get in and then dismantle it from the inside. I have lots of plans, from taking down the traffic lights. Some are simple, like taking down stop signs, and some are more complex, like bring this whole thing crashing to the ground, to paraphrase Ron Swanson. So, there you go. So the ATF is, as I mentioned, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. It is a subdivision of the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service tax agency, basically. Um, they are known for entrapment, so getting people to break unjust laws and then prosecuting them for it. Um, their sole authority is taxation, which means that basically their tax laws about things like machine guns and certain kinds of explosives and certain kinds of firearm parts and things like that, all of which are perfectly legal, but if you possess them, you need to pay an exorbitantly high tax fee on them. And so the ATF investigates whether you have that official tax stamp or not. And if you don't, they will murder your dog and your wife and your children. Talking about Randy Weaver. The one of the best. I think I can say that. One of the best explorations of what the ATF is really about is Wendigoon's video on Waco. Okay, well, Waco and Ruby Ridge were mostly FBI ops, but they started with the ATF. The ATF started it. Then the FBI took over and made it worse. But yeah, the ATF basically started both problems, and then yeah, the FBI came in and made it worse. They're a horrifically corrupt organization, whose sole purpose is both unconstitutional and fundamentally unjust. All right. Anyway, I'm playing a game. I forgot. um, John says, "Oh, as much as I hate the ATF, the FBI scares me more." Yeah, especially lately. They've been doing a lot of nefarious shit. Automatic firearms should be completely legal. Yeah, all firearms should be completely legal. Legalize recreational nuclear weapons. Not that that's going to be a campaign slogan, but actually, okay, no, I'm not. Let me actually caveat this and add some nuance here. I do think that recreational nuclear weapons constitute clear and present danger, constitute what is essentially a threat to people around you. John, I'll read it once you're done with all of your ranting. Recreational nuclear weapons, like I said, would wind up being a threat to anyone around you, and you can make a reasonable argument that stopping someone from using them is self-defense, is an extension of self-defense. Now, industrial nuclear weapons absolutely could have completely viable purposes. Things like asteroid mining. Like if Elon Musk got his hands on a nuclear weapon, I would have no problem with it because I assume he's going to do something cool with it. Like, yeah. Well, anyway. And like, yeah, if I had the money for it, I'd love a fully armed and operational F-86 Sabre. That's a fighter plane, for those who don't know. My absolute favorite fighter aircraft. F-86 Sabre. It was the Korean War era swept wing jet fighter. Just gorgeous thing. Beautiful aircraft. Yes, there was something in the Prophecies of Fatima about nuclear weapons. Well, I mean, yeah, because nuclear weapons are especially in their current state, especially owned by governments, are a clear and present danger to the continued existence of the human race. So, if let me put it this way. Here. I know you're a fan of the Empire, but any government which designs and builds a weapon capable of and directly for the purpose of wiping out a mass civilian population and then uses it twice, probably not particularly trustworthy, and is probably not one to be trusted with such a weapon. Am I talking about the Death Star, or am I talking about Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Who knows? Could be both. Heartflower says, "Oh, so I see. So a smart anarchist gets to it from the inside the establishment." Yeah, basically, right? So, I mean, put it this way: there's a reason that Donald Trump is thinking about appointing, or at least Donald Trump Jr. is talking to his father about appointing RFK as CIA director, and it's not because he will make a good CIA director. It's because he will expose all of the lies and evil of the CIA and then shut the damn thing down because it killed his dad and his uncle and tried to kill Trump, probably. Allegedly, maybe. No, please don't shoot me. What do I think about RFK? Okay on economics, terrible on Israel, great on everything else. There you go. There's my thoughts on RFK. Very smart guy. Absolutely, definitely needs to be... He's one of those people who I actually do trust near the reins of power, insofar as the reins of power exist. So, yeah, I think he's... I like him. I like him. I wouldn't vote for him. Again, he's absolutely fucked on the Israel problem. On the Israel issue. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, for phrasing it like that. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean, and I don't mean it like that. Don't start with me. Harryflower says, was it the CIA or FBI that did the Contra stuff? Oh, that was the CIA. Iran-Contra, that was CIA. Right? I believe it was. Alright. I'm gonna play this for a bit. We can keep chatting. Honestly, you just don't understand, do you? Open your ears. Silence! I'm telling you, we don't allow postmen here. Begone, begone! Don't be ridiculous. I went through a great trials and tribulations to go all the way to the Forsaken Fortress and return with Mo's letter. Mo's alive, guys! If you don't remember, Mo was apparently a bokoblin who... Was he a Moblin or a Bokoblin? I forget. He was one of those little goblin dudes that this girl had a weird crush on. Silence! Begone, begone! Then please be reasonable. Can you at least sign for the letter? Silence! Begone, begone! Just acknowledge I was here. Silence! Begone, begone! Ah! Foolish man! Now you've made me angry. I cannot even look at you in the face any longer, or I fear I might. I must go somewhere to cool my feathers. Yeah, understandable. Well, what wretched, unruly postman. I don't know anything about any Mr. Mo in any Forsaken Fortress, yet he always comes here bringing his letters. Who's this? Mo, think I'll let him lay a hand on my one and only daughter, Maggie? I don't care whose letters they are, they'll never reach her on my watch. I wonder if, mayhaps, perhaps, I should go deliver them myself. I think I remember vaguely. I'll find him. I think it's up. It's up somewhere. I know that. Oh, Mo, my dear sweet burly Mo. When, oh, when will you respond to me? Trudy-loo-la-la. Hey, that's weird. I'm gonna go do the auction. Alright. Hey, now, here again. Yes, so tell me, would you like to participate in the auction? Absolutely. Really? Dear me, really? Now, you're completely fine with me not explaining the auction to you. Yes, I'm fine with that. Yes, good. Let's speed things up. Very well, then. Let us begin immediately. There's no time to dawdle. The auction is afoot. On your toes, on your toes. Alright, let's see what it is this time. I'll probably forget to find the postman, so if you do want to put it, I won't mind. Yes, first, let me thank all of you for bargain-loving people for joining us this evening. What a turnout. Imsib says I was an RFK supporter. What should I do now? Honestly, I'm probably voting for Donald Trump. As much as I hate to. There is nothing about Donald Trump that makes him absolutely unacceptable. He's not good on Israel, but he's a lot less bad than RFK. And he's a lot better on most things. Basically, I think that Donald Trump is probably not going to help anything. He's probably not going to make anything better. But he's going to do the least damage of almost any president in my lifetime, except maybe Bill Clinton. John says Trump is really a screw the deep state vote, but have you seen some of the stuff that he's been saying lately? Been seeing how he's been talking about like some of the deep state agencies since he got shot in the face? Like, he's been praising the Secret Service. I think he's even praised the FBI a couple of times. Like, saying that, well, the FBI's got some corrupt people, but that kind of thing. Like, I honestly think that he might be kind of compromised. To some significant degree, I think he's scared. I think that he did not quite realize that they were actually gonna kill him. And so he was thinking that he's just gonna play politics like he played business, and he was gonna take these guys out, and he was gonna pull one over on them, and he was gonna get them good. But these are evil sons of bitches, every single one of them, and they will kill you and everything you love. Trump didn't realize that until they shot him in the face. And I think he's probably a little bit scared. It's hard to blame him, really. But the question you got to ask is Donald Trump the kind of guy who would be willing to die for his ideas, for what he thinks is right? I don't know. I lean towards thinking not. Sim says, was Kennedy part of the Fatima prophecy and stalled nuclear war? Was it a coincidence the first Catholic president stopped nuclear war? I don't know if it's so directly the Fatima prophecy. Again, I don't tend to take prophecies as referring to very specific historical events, not typically. It might have, maybe. I don't know enough detail. I don't know if anyone knows enough detail. Isn't a lot of the specifics still under wraps? I could be wrong about that too. I don't know enough of the detail to say for sure. Now that said, yes, JFK was technically the first Catholic president, but then again, Joe Biden is or was, whatever you think, is or was technically the second Catholic president. Let me put it this way. Yes, JFK stalled a nuclear holocaust. Yes, he was a Catholic in the office, more or less. He was one of the most morally compromised presidents that we've probably ever had, but I knew. In fact, I one of my old history teachers was good friends with a Secret Service agent from the Kennedy administration, and whose job it was to look in on Jack and Bobby Kennedy while they were banging whores, to be delicate about the matter, to make sure that the deed was actually done, because they were competing for who could screw the most loose women. So that, Catholic president guy. But let me put it this way: yes, a Catholic president forestalled World War III, forestalled a nuclear holocaust. It probably wasn't his doing. If anything, it was God acting through him. In the same way that Roe versus Wade was overturned under a Catholic president. No, it wasn't his doing. In fact, he did everything he could to stop that from happening. But God works in mysterious ways, doesn't he? Best I can say. He was doped up by Dr. Lovegood during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I have no idea what you're even talking about. What religion, if any, is Trump? He's some kind of, like he's a vaguely evangelical Christian. I think he's technically Methodist, from what I've seen. But also, he doesn't believe in repentance. So, he said this explicitly. He is okay. Actually, I'll tell you. I know what kind of Christian he is. I know what denomination he is. He's a Pelagian. That's what he is. What do you mean I am a Jimmy Akin enjoyer? What about it? What? Oh, that I don't know enough about Fatima? Okay, fine. I have seen basically everything there is to see about it. I just have forgotten almost that much. Don't at me. But no, Donald Trump is a Pelagian. That's what he is. There you go. Not Fatima. What are you talking about then? Oh, Dr. Lovegood? Are you talking about the I actually oh, was this oh god, now I remember this. Was this his like secret drug cocktail mixer guy? I think I remember this vaguely. Not very again, not very specifically. Is it wrong to vote for a Protestant? Not necessarily. Not any more than it's wrong to vote. Dr. Feelgood. Oh, okay, there you go. Because I thought you were talking about the guy who rode the missile down. That Dr. Lovegood. Not Lovegood, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm tired, okay? Earthflower says, what is the type of Christian you mentioned? I never heard of that before. It's an ancient heresy, dating from the 6th century, I think? 5th or 6th century AD. Basically holds that Christ was a moral exemplar, that the purpose of God becoming incarnate was to show us how to live a perfect moral life, and that now, that we had this example, we can choose through our own free will and our own power to be morally perfect, and that we ought to do so. It essentially denies the necessity and efficacy of Christ's sacrifice for our salvation. It was defended by a guy known as it was put forward by a guy known as the Mad Monk Pelagius, and it was Saint Augustine's huge obsession during the second and more senile half of his writing career. He went a little overboard. Augustine did later on there, but he was really mad about Pelagius. So, JD Vance is a Catholic. Yes, he's a relatively recent convert, as of like 2019 or something. If I remember right. All right, auction time. It is this. Oh, a joy pendant. That's not worth a lot. I don't need that. I'm not spending 40. I'm not spending 40 rupees on that. But yes. Yeah, I'm out of here. You guys have fun. Spending way too many rupees on a joy pendant. You guys have a great time. Okay. Should do that. I think there's some kind of a reward for putting things on all of the pedestals or something. Yeah. So, there is. So yeah, I think that that Donald Trump is his specific denomination is heretic, and I mean that precisely. I don't mean that to just say just as an edgy Catholic way of saying that he's a Protestant. I mean he's like he firmly believes a heresy that is condemned by Catholics and Protestants alike. Not that he knows he's a heretic, because I don't actually think he does, but I don't think he realizes what's wrong with his ideas, but I don't think he cares all that much. Hey, I'm very glad. I'm glad to hear that there's new information for you here. Good. Somewhere in this town there is one who, despite constant projection, never learns love's cruelest lesson, continues to write love letters without rest. I need you to recover proof of this sad story by catching this person in the act. Be sure to take a clear full body shot so I can see exactly what's going on, and of course, so as not to be seen, you should take the pictograph from a distance, yes? Now prove you've completed. I have not. Stop. Alright, yeah, I'm a professor. Like I said, I do this whole thing in part so I could talk about the philosophical implications of the games I play, but given that we're just goofing around doing side quests, there's not a ton. So, most of it is just is whatever we happen to want to talk about. In this case, theopolitical drama. I'm not gonna do this again. No, thank you. The birdman, the postman's up here, right? I think. All right. See you later, John. Oh, before you go, did you actually wind up watching that spooky YouTube series I mentioned, the oldest view? Should. I'm especially reminded because there's been a lot of chat about malls in our Discord server. Um, because the oldest view is at least in large part about a shopping mall. So it's about the creepy nostalgia of a shopping mall. I tell you what, I kind of want to watch it with everybody, so maybe we'll do that tomorrow night or something. We'll do a watch together on the server. Especially, man, everybody's talking about shopping malls. It's like it's got me thinking about it. He's not up here, is he? No, ImSimp. Not exactly. So yes, okay, yes. If I had a PhD and someone was dying and they asked if there was a doctor, would you say I am? And they say he's dying. We respond, but did he ever live? No, I would respond with, aren't we all? Because we are. Remember your death. Memento mori. Crucially important, guys. Remember that you will die. You are dust, and to dust you shall return. All those wonderful cliches. You may skip the busy tomorrow. Yeah, interesting. I don't want to draw you away from anything important, but if it's not important, sure, sounds good. Yeah. Shoot. Where is the birdman? Where's the postman? I don't remember. He's not up there. Is he up here with the dancing guy? Oh, okay, so shopping malls are more important. All right, well, if Jules says that shopping malls are more important, then I guess that's what we're doing tomorrow. Okay, all right, cool, cool. Have you seen it? It's called The Oldest View. It's about what happens when we as a sort of collective society lose, like, gradually forget about something that was at some point important and significant to many of us. It's very pensive. It's very thoughtful. It's definitely pretty spooky. It's a lot of fun. I really like it. And if you know anything about Kane Pixels, he's the guy who did the back rooms. Um, all of his videos are completely computer generated, with minor exceptions. But they're almost entirely computer generated. And the fact that the entire mall in one of the major episodes of this is completely computer generated from the ground up, every pixel of it is CGI, is unbelievably impressive. I was shocked when I found out about that because I honestly thought he had just recorded this thing in an abandoned mall, and maybe touched it up with CG or something. No, it's amazing, unbelievable. It's really good. No, excuse me, excuse me again. Heartflower says Canada has an election next year. I don't know about where my vote will go because the smaller parties bleed into the main ones, conservative and liberal. I really don't know. Oh, what's its name? Pierre. Shoot, the guy from Quebec. I absolutely love him. You would not expect me to know a lot about Canadian politics, and to be fair, I don't. I know two things about Canadian politics. One, your prime minister is Fidel Castro's son, and evil. Two, Pierre, what's his name, is based as hell. I love that man. The two things I know about Canadian politics. Imsim says I've tried explaining the Roman Republic to one of my classes. Explained that the word republic is derived from res publica, the public thing, aka the law. Kind of the law, not exactly the law. At least that's not how I've seen it interpreted. At least not in, like, Cicero. It's more like the community which is bound together under a common law, something more like that. Yes, it is. It's delineated and defined by the law, the Respublica, but it is the political community, so to speak. Yo, hold up! What's a kid like you doing out in a time like this? Are you out to take a look at the heavens too? In that case, you'll get a better view from over here. Okay, sure. What am I? Sure. Hmm. The moon. It's another fine moon tonight. Say, did you know? Like the human heart, the shape of the moon changes with time. Every night it becomes a little bit different. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I did know that, though. Thanks. There's also constellations up here, which I don't... Ooh. Look at that! Aren't the three sister stars impressive? What a stellar family. It's Orion, you... Whatever. It's also an island. I know that. Hey, do you know what the name of that constellation is? I don't. Why, are you gonna tell me, or... Okay, whatever. What a weirdo. Why are you laughing about it? Weird, man. Okay, I can't find the winged bastard. Imsim says I had them compare and contrast Athenian democracy and the Roman Republic. Interesting. Okay. I mean, there's certainly plenty of contrast that I can think of. It's an interesting comparison, though. I did not give up finding the Birdman. Oh, I do. Yeah, I'd give up on doing it on my own. I'd like you to tell me, yes. Yeah, where's the bastard? Oh, is he in the coffee bar? He's in the coffee bar, isn't he? Oh, you learned about Athens yesterday. Today we covered Rome and world history. Okay. I hope and assume that you're not covering each of those in one day. He's in the cafe. Yeah, okay. The one place I didn't look. I think it's literally the one place I didn't look, isn't it? Oh. Anyway. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, like I said, it's the oldest view. It's one of my favorite. Okay, so I was first introduced to it by Wendigoon, who does these kinds of like spooky things and true crime and stuff like that. And man, he called it the best scary thing he's ever seen on the internet, and he's one of those guys who does this sort of thing. And I kind of have to agree. It's not the scariest thing. I mean, it's there's some jump scares and it's really atmospheric and spooky, but it's far from the scariest thing on the internet. But man, it is so cool. There's so much cool about it. I love it. Imsum says I want to study Byzantine history. Ancient Greece and Rome is a big passion of mine. Yeah, so my history studies, I focused on Imperial Rome in undergraduate, primarily just because I had a great professor who specialized in Rome. I also studied some of the classical Greek period. Did a little in the Homeric period as well, and did a little in the Alexandrian, not the Alexandrian, the Hellenic period as well. But only that. There was like a couple classes I took on it. Most of my studies in undergrad were Imperial Rome. Then in graduate school, I kind of moved over and transitioned to the Middle Ages in Europe to sort of parallel my philosophical studies of primarily scholasticism. Oh, this you said is your favorite successor empire? That's odd. Really, that's not a common one. It's not a favorite. That's not a common favorite. Bill says I've been obsessed with this cafe since I was 12. The study sessions here would be crazy. Starbucks could never. Yeah, no, like look at this. Oh, I mean, to be fair, this bar needs stools, but other than that, all the bars need stools, really. But it's so nice. You're right. I love the atmosphere of this game. I love the atmosphere of this game so much. Just a second there, kid. Look, this isn't any time for a kid like you to be coming in here. Just trust me, okay? Go on, now go home. Okay. That's sketchy. My daughter and I have managed to eke out a decent life, and in the process I've realized a great truth. There is something more important than money in the world. I think at long last I've finally come to understand just what true happiness really is. And I'm thankful for it. Aw, good. That's great. Heartflower says, two of my most interesting courses I took in university were Indigenous Voices of Modern Asia and Traditional Irish Music, close second Irish Poetry, and The Problem of Sex. Interesting. That, The Problem of Sex have anything... It sounds like it would involve maybe Beauvoir. Simone de Beauvoir. It rings similarly to a lot of what she says, especially like in the second sex and things like that. Imsimp has a crush on the bartender. Okay, good for you. Good for you. I did also take a course on Celtic history, which mostly focused on ancient Celtic literature. So we read the Mabinogi, we read the Toyn, we read some of the... What's it called? What's it called? Think about the sheath. The sheath. Every Zelda game has a cutie patootie. This is your cutie patootie? Imsip, my dude. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Simp for who you want. That's fine. But anyway, that class was a lot of fun. That was a great class, and that's actually where I started learning at least some pronunciation of Gaelic, if not much vocab. In Twilight Princess, the fishing hole lady. I don't even remember the fishing hole lady, man. What in the world? All right. Well, we're doing Twilight Princess eventually. No. I did. By the way, I did get it working. I actually got my Wii U emulator functioning. I only have 2 games for it, 2 ROMs at the moment, and they're Twilight Princess HD and Pokken Tournament, which is wildly overcomplicated for a Tekken clone. So, I don't know. It's cool. It's really cool, but it's wildly overcomplicated. Imsim says, I used to think Link would marry her at the end of the game as a kid. No. Midnight all the way. Oh, it's you. I'm sorry you had to witness me fly off the handle like that at Maggie's house. I'm most embarrassed. That man is just... Never mind. To tell you the truth, though, I came to deliver a letter addressed to Maggie from a Moblin named Mo. But as you saw, the girl's stubborn father won't permit me to give it to her. A stubborn, meddling old man, refusing to accept letters from the postman. Who's heard of such nonsense? I went to great trouble to go all the way to the Forsaken Fortress, and it was a most frightening ordeal, let me tell you. If I don't deliver this letter, then I'm a failure at the delivery trade. Wait, will there ever be a Society of McCoy? By that, what do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, am I going to start a secret society or fraternal organization? Probably not. If that's what you're getting at. Jules, yes, I agree. Mo is not looking for love. He's looking for human flesh. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Imsim says, when men come together to drink, they hearty drink, eat good food, and discuss all manner of topics we discuss here. So that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know if it would be a society so much as hanging out at the bar, smoking and drinking. I mean, I'm always on board to hang out with the boys, you know. By always, I mean when I'm not gratuitously busy, which I usually am. Pierre Bordeaux, Freud, etc. Okay. Favorite poets like Kavanaugh, Meehan, Joyce, Haney. Heaney, not Haney. Okay. Oh, so it's like something like an interdisciplinary focus? Interesting. Because that's quite a broad swath of different types of readings. I mean, I say that, but I've read Bordeaux in a philosophy class, as well as I read Bordeaux. Actually, yeah, Bordeaux. I think a snippet or two of Freud, and of all people, Baudelaire in one philosophy class, an ethics class, as it happens. It was on blame, on the topic of blame and guilt. It was a really interesting seminar. It was great. Very odd. Very odd to be that narrowly topical and be so broad in its readings. And parts of the U.S. Model Legal Code. But I have other deliveries waiting to be made. I cannot mope here forever. Actually, though, I have an idea. That old fool may not permit postmen on his premises. But surely he would allow you in the place, would he not? Would you deliver this letter to Maggie in my stead? What do you say? I'll do it. Honestly, you, young man, are a lifesaver. It truly never hurts to ask. I shall leave this letter in your care. You got Moblim's letter. Has a sort of stink to it. Yeah, I bet. I bet it smells like flesh. Oh, God. The theoretical and poetic readings would made it relate to the readings. Okay. I used to hang out with friends who'd smoke, but I never did. I smoke a pipe, typically. And occasionally a cigar, but I strongly prefer the pipe over cigar. So there's a great, I believe it's Chesterton. I'm counting on you to put this in Maggie's hands, and I thank you. I think it was Chesterton who said this, but you can divide the three traditional ways of smoking tobacco to correspond to the three parts or aspects of the Platonic soul. So you have the three parts of the Platonic soul. The Platonic soul are the appetites, the spirit, and the intellect, or reason. The appetites correspond to desire, the spirit corresponds to passion, and the intellect corresponds to thought. And they correspond to the three types of tobacco, as the appetites correspond to the cigarette, the spirit or passion corresponds to the cigar, because it's the very active, thumic, I guess you'd say, breathy kind of smoking, and the pipe corresponds to reason or the intellect, because it's very pensive, it's very thoughtful. It's the kind of thing to do while reading a nice book or having a nice, slow, ponderous academic talk or discussion. So there you go. That is, I tend to like that division, and I tend to also prefer the pipe as a academic sort, very heady academic sort. Sim says we went to bars and drank and sang songs like a bunch of dumb college idiots. What hearty times! Yeah, the only time we did a lot of that was like marching band kind of stuff, and there wasn't a ton of drinking. There was a lot of ridiculous raucous singing though, even not fueled by alcohol. I was not a partier in college. That's one might guess. I was what one might call square. Yeah, square is about right. I wouldn't say boring, because, like I keep saying, I was in college back in the time when having fun was fun and cool. But not necessarily the kind of, like, getting drunk and partying kind of thing. Never smoked, or do I think I'll pick up the habit? I just posted on Twitter and put a link to it in Discord. A clip from Tucker Carlson's interview with Dave Smith, where they're talking about tobacco. Specifically they're talking about nicotine, and how nicotine has been scientifically proven to increase testosterone levels. And it kind of makes you wonder why the bad guys hate smoking so much. Kind of makes you wonder. Earthflower says, I actually could sing roughly in Irish and Mandarin before I ever formally learned the language. That's often how it goes. Learning to sing in a language is very often a precursor to learning the language. Or not even. A lot of people just learn to sing in a language and just never actually learn to speak it. Especially things like opera. A lot of opera singers sing in French or Italian or German, but don't speak it. And I think that's actually really cool. That music is that kind of bridge between cultures, between languages, that we don't have to trod all the way across by learning the full language, but we can still sort of unite in that way musically. There's something beautiful about that. Oh yeah, I mean, smoking can. I mean, yeah, it can impede singing and that sort of thing. So that's understandable, I suppose. Yeah, that is understandable. Um, I'll say though, of the various tobaccos as well, pipe least so, because it's a puffing kind of thing, even more so than cigar. As a Floridian, do I love sea shanties? I guess so. I love sea shanties. I don't know if it's a specifically Floridian thing, but yeah, I do. I figure it's more of it as an anachronist type of person. I do. I tend to really like sea shanties. What is that? Simp. That's a mix of things that all look rather familiar. Love Ireland hardcore, despite never having visited there. The song sings my soul. Yeah, no, I love the Gaelic language, and I love Irish music. Oh Mo, my dear sweet burly Mo, when oh when will you respond to me? Oh yeah, I gotta give you the damn thing. Oh, that's Elendil's oath from Return of the King. Oh, that's a deep cut. Ediarlo and Rena. Sorry, double consonants in Elvish are double pronounced. I forgot about that. And Rena Tulian, Zinome Maruvan, Arhildanar Ten Ambar Meta. Again, I know a little. I know a little Sindarin Elvish. I never really learned any Quenya. Primarily because I started naming my swords in Sindarin, and I learned it for things like RPG characters and like I said, I named all of my swords in Elvish and things like that in Sindarin specifically. Sea shanties are big up here. Yeah, I've gathered that. The my other Canadian friend in the Discord server, Anna, that's Queen Wombat. She's also like she's from Prince Edward Island and is constantly sharing and singing sea shanties and things like that. So yeah, I figure it's an Atlantic tradition right? Up and down the coast. There's different versions of it from all over the place, but it's a pretty common tradition going back to the sort of the Age of Sail. Oh, I get it. Okay, no, I just here. Take this. This ridiculous thing. What sea shanty do I always sing with my entire chest? Huh. It's hard to say. It's odd that I prefer the more... I don't know. It's hard to say. My favorite is probably... Oh, what's it called? Dude, Oh, for Well Nova Scotia, no, that's a really good one. That is a really good one. I hadn't even thought of that as a shanty, but I love Farewell Nova Scotia. Um, that is a good one. Would Fields of Athenry count as a sea shanty? Because I love that one. That's another really good. I mean, that's more like a Scottish folk tune. Wellerman is a little overplayed, but I do love it. It's a good one. It's an old solid one. Is it Irish? Really? I thought it was Scottish. But yeah, I do like it. Love it. Um, I've also always loved. Okay. since Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag came out, because that's when the world got into sea shanties, I've really loved the Parting Glass. It's gorgeous. Sentiana, okay, not my favorite. It's good. It's good. Won't say no. I'll sing along. That's when I'll sing along. There we go. Okay, the differences between sea shanties are I will start singing it versus I will sing along. Those are the two categories. Wellerman is in the I will sing along camp just because somebody else will undoubtedly start it. Farewell No Scotia, I'll start for sure. Yeah, I've always really loved the Parting Glass. I hesitated to say that. I hesitated to say that because it's not one you sing with your full chest at all. It's because it's so limitation. It's such a limitation. It's typically high and almost it fits right with a more breathy tone and all that stuff. I tend to like a lot of IRA songs. Yeah. I generally like old folk music, whether that's Irish, whether it's Scottish, whether that's North American, like Appalachian, New England. Excuse me. Whatever. I tend to really like old folk music. It's all the same. All the same genre. There's slightly different regional flavors. Is that, could it be, the letter from Mo that I saw in my dreams? Let me read it this instant. This is Mo. I like you, Maggie. So much that I want to eat you for dinner. Oh, no. Did you hear that? Those words? This means... it must mean... Can it be? Is this... This is a game for children. This is a game for children. This is a game for children. Stop it. It must be. At last my feelings have been conveyed to Mo. At last he understands how I feel. Oh yeah, Orose de White Vela is also really good. That's got such a good driving melody to it. I love it. I use it for D&D on occasion too when there's anything shipborne. It's especially because I'll say in my homebrew setting, the bird folk, their languages, their naming conventions and stuff is all based on Gaelic. So whenever they're involved, that's one of their little theme tunes they bring out. Great, love it. Oak and Ash, which one is that? I'm trying to. I can't hear it. It's not one I'm as familiar with. This is the happiest day of my life. Trudy doody doo la la. From here on out, today will be the anniversary of true love for me and Mo. Oh, it completely slipped my mind. I must thank you for your role in this, commemorating my anniversary of true love. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I've gotten a piece of heart. I should not have contributed to this. I absolutely... No, Dad was right. This was a bad idea. I should always. Oh my god. Please, no. Oh god, okay, that was... I ain't right. Ain't fucking right. Oh boy. Oh my god. I just wow. Spectacular. Here, you want a bunch of these? My dear, did you bring me joy pendants yet again? How many joy pendants do you have right now? 51? Why, to think a child like you would pay such a large tribute to me. Oh, your teacher's very impressed by your efforts, my dear. My whole body is numb with the thrill of excitement. So this is what pure joy feels like. Heartflower says, I also love fiddle tunes. That's part of being a Cape Bredener. I like fiddle tunes. Okay, I will say, I am trash at string instruments and keyboard instruments. I'm a wind guy entirely and exclusively. I throughout middle school and high school, I learned basically every wind instrument in the band and then some, and a few bits of percussion. With the exception of clarinet, no one ever taught me clarinet. They saw the clarinet section in my high school marching band, saw that I was learning all of the instruments, and decided that they were going to band together and no one teach Vincent clarinet. So I never learned it. Everything else, I did at least learn the basics. I've mentioned this before. I'm by far the worst at these small mouthpiece brass instruments like French horn and trumpet. But I learned at least passably everything else. Yeah, one I never got an opportunity to play very much was bassoon. I learned the very basics, but that's about it. Um, I actually learned bagpipes as well. That was a lot of fun. Bagpipes are so much fun. Um, I started to learn fiddle, but I was unbelievably terrible at it. So I can't. I can do using two hands for an instrument, obviously, because two hands go on most instruments, with keys and holes and whatnot. But the two hands doing two separate things thing, I can't wrap my mind around that in any way. Right? The fingers doing this and the hand doing this at the same time, it throws me off for some reason. Can't get it to work. Same with keyboard, like piano. My left hand doing bass stuff and my right hand doing treble stuff that's similar at the same time throws me off. I can't get it to work. Whatever motor skill that is, I don't have it, which is weird because doing martial arts, I'm actually fairly decent at two-weapon fighting. But again, I think that's because it's a single weapon, but in two hands. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, never got any good at all at fiddle. I wish I'd put a little more effort into it because it's really cool, but yeah, never did. There are string instruments I'd like to learn, but never got very good at it. Can I go on a tirade on why Rhodesia was justified? It probably wasn't, but I don't know enough about it to say no. Or yes, but my guess is no. My baseline assumption is that most acts of war are not justified. Some of them might have been, but I doubt Rhodesia was. I have doubts. No, no, look. U.S. military aesthetics peaked around then, like very late Cold War, before Global War on Terror, but and I mean Rhodesia being sort of in that period. So there was a lot cool about it, just like there was a lot cool about like Korea and Vietnam and World War II, but that doesn't mean it was like a good idea. Oh, listening to fiddle tunes. Okay, not playing. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a trained singer anyway. All of my vocal training was from singing along with and accompanying instrumental stuff. So, if you give time to it, you get to piano. Yeah, I could probably manage piano. Probably nothing too sophisticated though, really, because like I said, my two hands doing two separate things, it just kind of throws me off. Um, and since that the idea of Rhodesia seems like a dream, it wasn't perfect for something. It wasn't perfect, but something about it draws me in. Again, I think that like I said, if we're talking about pure aesthetics, which is a weird thing to talk about in terms of military, but I have just sung the praises of the F-86 Sabre, so almost pure aesthetic grounds. Not pure aesthetic grounds, because it's also the peak, the absolute peak of dogfighting. Um, that era of the U.S. military drip, so to speak, was just great stuff. There's something alluring about black and white Africans fighting communism side by side. Okay, yeah, there's something to that. There's something to that. She'll take precisely 20 of them, thank you. That will do just fine. My heart will be all aflutter. I don't know if you know, but 20 is my lucky number. And just as I promised, I will reward you for going out and collecting all these for me. I'm going to give you a wonderful, splendid thing. Close your eyes, dear. Okay. What is it? Someone tell me. Wait, if I keep my eyes closed, I can't read the chat. Okay. Cabana deed. Nice. I can go to there. Heartflower says, I know Rhodesia was British Africa, but I can't remember what model African state it is. Modern African state. Oh, God. Not Congo, is it? I don't remember. Again, okay, so let me put it this way. I don't study modern history. And by modern history, I mean anything after roughly 1277. Anything after that, I have to know by just sort of cultural osmosis, or by personal experience, or by anecdote. So, there you go. 1277. 1277 was the last major date that I can actually pinpoint and know anything specific about. It was 1277. God, not Fallout 77. No, what are you talking about? No, 1277 was when a series of Neo-Aristotelian propositions, mostly put forward by the immediate followers of Thomas Aquinas at the University of Paris, were condemned by the Bishop of Paris as being contrary to the Catholic faith. This was among these were propositions like the unknowability of God, which is part of where we get the precursor to the Vatican I proposition that that God is necessarily knowable through reason alone. Things like the necessary imprecision of the sciences, things like sciences, including theology. My favorite, of course, is the condemnation of the proposition that that God could not have created other Earths. In other words, 1277 magisterially declared that aliens are at least possible. So suck it, aliens or demons, people. You're heretics. Da-da-dum! You see, although I am but a mere teacher, I own my very own cabana in a tropical oasis down south. But lately I haven't made use of it at all, so you can have it. Ooh, it's all right, dear. You can stop gaping in amazement now. Now that you have this deed, that cabana is all yours. You own it. So whatever you do, don't lose this piece of paper. Okay. Okay, no, it's entirely possible that they don't exist or are unintelligent. I'm just saying that it is... I'm not saying that necessarily aliens, like intelligent aliens, exist and have been here, but that it's theologically possible. There are no good theological arguments against the existence of heterosapiens, let's call them. Other rational animals bearing the imago Dei elsewhere in the cosmos. Oh, okay, so now Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. Oh, okay. That's not at all what I thought. See, I told you, I don't know modern history very well. I'm getting on in age, and sea travel hasn't exactly agreed with me as of late. Now I can just stay here and relax as I continue my work with the children. And so, you know, you'll find the place southeast of here. It's on a tiny, lonely island near the Triangle Islands. From now on, it's your own little bachelor pad. Good luck finding it. Oh, and one more thing. Don't tell anybody, dear. Okay, I'm gonna go visit. Rhodesians never die. Okay. Okay. You seem to have strong opinions about this. I cannot necessarily bring myself to have such strong opinions about it. I don't know enough about it to say. one of those things that I'm perfectly willing to admit is beyond the scope of my knowledge. Certainly beyond the scope of my expertise. All right, so let's doopy. Okay, Eastern Triangle Island. Yeah, I'll just sail there. It's not that far. Wait. Oh, maybe I should warp. It's further than I thought. As a married man, what do you recommend to look for in a potential wife? I don't know if I can say if there's anything definitive. Like, here's the thing. I would lay out some of the standard rules that you should look for. Things like common interests and common moral framework and common faith and all that. But at the same time, um, when my wife and I met, neither of us were particularly serious about the faith. She was practically an agnostic. Not practically, she was literally an agnostic. And I eventually converted to Catholicism, which is quite a thing. And by converted, I mean I helped. I didn't do it. But like, so all of the various rules for, oh, you should look for this or that in a potential spouse, all of those rules are breakable. Every single one of those rules is breakable. It's more about finding somebody who you can love and they can love you, and deciding together and coming to reconcile together how you both want to live your lives. And if you can come to enough of an agreement about that sort of thing, then you're good. I don't know. I can't say too much more because, like I said, I'm not an expert. I may be married, but I'm not an expert in becoming married. I've only done it once, which is precisely the number of times that you should do it if you're gonna. Don't go over one. That's a bad thing if you do that. But like, I have my own experience to draw from. That's about all. No one's cut my grass in forever in my new private island. Very nice, though. Wait, what's the... Song of Passing, there it is. There we go. That's what I need. So, Imsip, did that help? Or did that just make everything worse? Sorry. Oh no, I fell in the pool. Pool lake thing. Hey, Nomad. Good evening. How are you? What you looking at? Seagulls! Seagulls. I think that means a big octo. It does. That's a big octo if I ever seen one. I should go handle that. It's awfully close to my nice island. Oh, you turn 18 tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday. He's looking way, that way, not that way. That's a big one. Got any plans that you'd like to share with the people on the internet? Tim says, I'll admit I flirted with her. Wait. Oh. Sort of talking about with someone we dated in college for a bit, broke up. Dated other women after her. She wasn't too fond of her. She made it seem like I was cheating. No, I think that kids these days, you included, you in particular here, since we're talking about you, are just so very bad at actually communicating one's intentions when it comes to dating. Like stop that. I've had other friends who are youngish and have had all sorts of romantic trouble. And most of those romantic troubles really just come down to refusing to actually communicate what you want in love or whatever, in anything. Because if you're willing to be, straightforward about what you actually want in a relationship, then you'll probably wind up getting it. But look, if you're not willing to actually communicate what you want, you probably won't get it, and that sucks. It really is terrible to Oh shoot, I keep hitting the wrong button. There's one more. Oh god, I'm right at the mouth. There it is, alright. Hey Baze, welcome. How you doing? But yeah, I keep insisting with so many friends of mine, mostly Zoomer friends, that the big thing is communication. Like, actually communicate your intentions and what you want out of a relationship in a way that is clear to everybody. Ooh, I way past it. Let me see, is this it? Did I get it? Over there. Yay! Sometimes wonder if she's hinting at stuff. Sometimes says, I will admit I flirted with her while dating other women, but those women I wasn't serious about, either non-Catholics, etc. Now we talk about potentially getting married one day. See, okay, great, but that's the other thing. What do you mean by dating? That is an honest question. I don't mean that to be sassy or whatever. I'm never sure what is meant by dating by kids these days. Do you mean exclusivity with the intent of, with the potential intent at least of marriage, like discerning marriage, or do you just mean no, fucking, or whatever? I don't know. Okay, dating to work towards marriage. Okay, well, in that case, then why are you doing that with someone you're not serious with? That is another thing I don't understand. And maybe that's not a kids these days thing. Maybe that's just a general thing. That's a sort of general problem that is more like a perennial issue than it is a these days issue. But still, get your shit together, kids. Kids, I mean, all you people. I don't know, man. It's one of those things that is just like okay. So maybe I was too waffly about advice. Here's my advice: be very straightforward and upfront about what you're after. Actually communicate, express your feelings to somebody when you have them. Don't do this whole like I'm trying to play it coy. Don't do this whole I'm trying to keep my options open, because trying to keep your options open is like the worst idea possible. Like just don't do that. There's my old man advice. Enjoy this old man advice. Oh, she does know about the infiltration thing. Well, that's a hurdle. That is a hurdle to get over. I'll tell you that. So that's I mean, if she can get over that, then that's a good sign. I would say. Um, I celebrated early before you went off to college. Nomad. Well, that's good. Still nice. Still nice. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts on the matter. Feel free to take my advice as being curmudgeonly and all that, but there's my curmudgeonly advice. Ew, unclean, most foul. Don't lay those grungy hands. What? Wait, that's why that's the. Are you the new master? Are you the Master Link? Ah, I'm so pleased to hear that name, Master Link. Please be gentle on this fine door. Okay. Sim says I do need to resolve that. The evil tempting part is the infiltration has helped me career wise. I think that's partially why I stayed in long. That makes sense. Unfortunately. I mean, look, it's oh right. This thing. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so oh wait, hold on. I mean, he can offer money as a reward, which is not what I need right now, but cool. Anyway. Never mind. Yeah. No, I will. Sadly, I must quit. I'll probably come back to that. It's, money is the only reward, really, so I have plenty of that at the moment. Oh, no. I'm on fire. Is that all this is? There's a Triforce chart in here, right? Use your rope above the fireplace? Oh, hey. Look at that. Thanks. Okay, so yes, Christ is always calling all of us to rejoin him in the Eucharist. So yes, that's yes, do that. Oh, I remember this. I remember this. Okay. Huh. Okay. Let's see where I can go. Yeah. Heartflower says, me being autistic is very hard dating, partially because my parents, even at 27, are hyper aware of me trying to date and be semi-normal. People are hard to Um, hard to find to understand the autism. I think that's. I feel like, and again, this is from an outside perspective, so grain of salt. But I feel like that's improving gradually over time. I think that more people are coming to sort of understand people with neurodivergence a good deal more. To the point where, oh wait, oh shoot, I went the wrong way, didn't I? It's this way. Maybe not still perfectly. Maybe still, I should say, still not perfectly. But I would think probably a lot better. Certainly a lot better than it used to be. Oh, that's a lot of money and stuff. That's nice. Alright, I'm maxed out on cash. Maxed out on cash money. Okay. So this is where I go to find all of the money. Next time I need to go to the auction. Or decode a Triforce chart, that too. Yeah, I can imagine that making dating exceptionally difficult. Like I said, maybe not quite as difficult as it maybe used to be, but still that can't be particularly easy. Okay, that just opens up the way forward. Got it. The young pope smoking with Babel Tiara gets me every time. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, I keep saying that. I mean, again, that clip of Tucker Carlson interviewing Dave Smith, like the point they make, one of the maybe dumber points they make, is that yeah, everyone kind of has to acknowledge that cigarettes, especially, but even smoking in general, has serious health problems, serious negative health effects. However, really hard to deny that cigarettes are cool. You know, Dave was saying, yeah, you know, there's trade-offs to, like, you know, vaping. Yes, fine, it's definitely healthier, and there are it's way better than smoking a cigarette in a lot of ways. But man, every time I'm vaping, I'm wishing it was a cigarette. Not because of addiction, just because, you know, hey, you little. That was a lot of money. Jeez. Rat bastards. You rat bastards. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. This brings us back to... Wait, no? What? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Brings us back. We just came through there. Can't go through there. We go down here, right? Or is this where we just came through? Oh, shit. This is where we just came up, right? We have to go to the other one? Anyway, yeah, smoking is cool, despite the very nasty health effects that make it probably a bad idea for most people most of the time. Again, especially cigarettes. Cigarettes, especially just because of the inhalation and everything, are the most unhealthy. Oh god, no! Are definitely the most unhealthy sort of smoking. Did it die or okay? Yeah. Okay. Whoo! Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, cigarettes are definitely the most unhealthy form of tobacco. Particularly, and I'll say particularly modern sort of industrially made cigarettes. The most deleterious part of cigarettes for your health is not the tobacco, it's not the smoke, it's the tar and the various chemical additives. So, which is a large part of why stuff like cigars and pipes and such, and even like old school cigarettes, like paper wrapped tobacco, are so much less, unhealthy or less dangerous. And yeah, there's still a carcinogen risk. Don't get me wrong. Inhalation of smoke is always going to have some potential health detriments. I mean, that goes for barbecue, right? For a really good old-fashioned barbecue where you're inhaling a good deal of smoke, yeah, that's gonna have some deleterious effects to you. Which, trust me, I've inhaled a lot more smoke barbecuing than I have smoking a pipe. Mostly because you don't inhale pipe smoke, at least mostly, and you definitely inhale barbecue smoke, which that's its own kind of problem. So, yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where it's about trade-offs. There are lots of there are lots of little things that are good for you in some ways and bad for you in others. So, okay, so all right, that's done. We have that. What else we got? What other side quests are there? I mean, we can go do another auction. We have nearly 1,000 rupees. Let's go do that, shall we? Let's do at least one more auction. Let's maybe decode some Triforce charts. Next time, we will actually go and do the real quests and things. Also, I should mention, I have a Thursday off this week. I don't know if I'll be home in time. Like I said, we're meeting with family and stuff. But I have a Thursday night off. Our Star Wars tabletop is on hiatus. I hit a bit of a wall with it. In terms of it is providing me far more stress than it is unstress, for all kinds of reasons. But it's one of those things. I've taken a little break from it for a few weeks, so I've got a Thursday night that I might want to do a different live stream. Probably something short. I might continue with Wholesome Monster Girl Academia. That'd be fun. I might finish up the demo. We'll see. I might do the Stanley Parable, which I was also thinking about. I don't know if I'm going to finish that in one night, though. We'll see. But that might be one to do. Nothing that would be too long. That's the only thing. So those are some thoughts. About what I might do. I may, like I said, I may stream Thursday. I may also just use the day to record something, because I have a video or two I'd like to record. And by video or two, I mean 3 about this book. I still need to record my next videos in the Star Wars series about iJedi, which, by the way, wonderful book. Read it. And by read it, I mean read a bunch of the books that lead up to it, because you actually do need a lot of them for perspective and for background. Which means read the Truce at Bakura, the X-Wing series, the Thrawn trilogy. Dark Empire is optional because it's a comic series and it's also not good. I mean, it's okay, but it's not good. I don't like it. I've heard the audio drama is better, so maybe. And then probably the Jedi Academy series, and that'll get you there. That'll get you to where you need to be. To really, really love and appreciate iJedi as I have. It's a great book. It's phenomenal. It's my favorite book of the EU. There's a lot of background reading you need to get to, but it's absolutely 100% worth it. A lot of that background reading is absolutely excellent as well. The X-Wing series is probably the best part of the EU outside iJedi, and then the Thrawn trilogy is legendary and basically speaks for itself. So get into the EU. Like, if you're at all a Star Wars fan, whether you're enjoying or disappointed by sort of modern Star Wars, like Disney Star Wars or whatever, get into the old EU. It's really good. Like, a lot of the old books and the old games, the old comics and stuff are excellent. All right, auction time. Yep. What is it? Let me see the item. Let me see what is for sale. Okay. All right, we get it. The treasure chart. Ooh, I need that. I realistically should not spend more than 200 rupees on it, just because it's probably going to be worth... It's probably going to get me a silver rupee, but still, it's treasure chart. I'll take it. Artflower says, per my point, it's more about where you are. Nova Scotia is very small. Most of my parents' age and older, so finding people my age on the same trajectory is hard. Yeah, I can see that. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, I gotta say, I wouldn't want to be dating where I am. We're out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's Florida. It's not exactly small, but like, I live in the boonies. There isn't like a nightlife or whatever. I will say though that college is probably just about the best place. If not college, then something roughly equivalent. Is probably the best place to find a potential spouse. Oh god, 45 seconds left. Let's go with 40. Scare the heck out of him. Oh, that didn't do enough. Oh shoot. Okay. I have 45 seconds left. Okay. Oh god, I have 30 whole more seconds? Alright, just one more. I forgot the time doesn't run when everyone's bidding. I hate this. Planning on moving to Montreal, nearest well-known urban center. I have friends there, more options for resources and work. Yeah, I get that. I mean, this isn't going to be worth it, is it? $98, really? Alright. Let's see. Oh, geez. Yeah, okay. Oh, God, no! Oh! I lost it. Damn it. No. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Ah! Okay. I need to stun them. Let's go to 150. Okay, we're good. I think we're out. Oh, that was close. 150 though is a lot for a treasure chart. It's fine, but man, that's a lot. All right. I mean, yeah, church is presumably a potentially good place. I wouldn't know. Like I said, I met my now wife at college. We met at a Star Wars LARP, of all things. So a thing of common interest is a great thing to do, you know. Just do fun things that are interesting and find singles that you might be interested in. And then, upon talking with them, find out just how interested you might be. And then once it becomes clear that you might actually be interested, express that interest, and then move on from there. Yeah, best advice I can give, really. That's it's a hard thing to do, especially in today's society, right? In today's increasingly impersonalized and digital society, it's rough. It's rough. What other side quest was I about to do? Let's go to Tingle Island. Oops. Let's decode some maps. Sorry, charts. Charts. Sim says, I'm still in my mid-20s, but my parents are already asking me to get married and have kids. Um, my wife and I got married when we were both, we were what, 27? No, 25. We were both 25. No, no. Yes, we were both 25. She had just turned 25. Like, the day before we got married, she had just turned 25. It's 25 or 26? Yeah, it was 25. It was 25. Because we were married in 2016, December, the end of 2016. And we had, both of us were born in 91. So there's for some further perspective. Like I also think maybe this is obvious, but I do think as well that that men can probably afford to be a little bit older when they marry than women, reasonably speaking. I mean, not too extremely. Don't necessarily wait until you're 30 or 40 if you can avoid it, but you can probably afford to if you need to, if you can't find somebody. In other words, your men's prospects run out much slower than women's do, at least statistically speaking. Our Flower says, I also have a rough dating history. Therefore, my standards are kind of high. Also, society is dangerous in certain ways, and it wasn't in the 90s. Yeah, I cannot disagree with that at all. And I mean, fine, maybe it's just nostalgia for the 90s. We all have it, but I think, put it this way, when we all saw The Matrix in 1999, and forget, was it Morpheus? Yeah, I think Morpheus was the one who told Neo that the machines decided to replicate the conditions of the late 1990s for all of humanity, to keep humanity in the most docile state possible, because it was the most peaceful and the most comfortable state that humanity was ever in. We were all like, "What? No, that's crazy. There's no way. There's no way." They just did that because that was the current time period, so they could do it that way, right? No, no. Things are going to be so much better in 10 years or like 2 years, but no. At least American society was far, far more stable and peaceful and amicable and all these good qualities in the 90s. Wealthy and flourishing too in general. Now there are elements of today's society that are superior in a lot of ways. Most of those are technological. Oh my god, that's a lot. Okay, fine. The technological developments we've had in the last 20 or 30 years are really substantial and really significant to our quality of life. But we've had a lot of negative social changes that, as you say, have made just sort of living a lot more dangerous. Imsim says, I used to think getting married at 25, now it's looking at 29 or 30. Okay, so just don't do what I did and be engaged for like 3 or 4 years. Just don't do that. Because Eric and I were engaged for, I think, 3 years, 3.5. Was it? No, no, it was almost 3 years, which is way too long. It's way longer than you need. Um, we also dated just dated with the expectation that, oh yeah, we're definitely going to get married at some point. But I just didn't ask. I didn't get around to asking because, well, we were still in college and blah 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 blah. I was a little bitch basically. Um, I just didn't ask for 4 years, three, yeah, 3 years. Yeah. Yeah. I actually wait. What was it? I think I asked Erica to marry me when it was our third or fourth dating anniversary, something like that. Which was just way too long. Don't do that. Do not do that. Um, Dating for a year and a half or two, a year of engagement, maybe, maybe. I don't know. It depends. It really depends on the individual. It really depends on the person. I I was, in retrospect, we absolutely could have gotten married at least 2 or 3 years earlier, at least, and realistically probably should have. Um, so yeah, it's and that's the other thing too is we had a very small wedding, which I didn't mind. It was a mass wedding, and our reception was basically what both of our families put together for us, because we were basically broke at the time, which, I mean, yes, it would have been nice to have a big thing, but also you don't necessarily need that sort of thing, you know. Imsim says the one thing. Really, there's just the one thing. I thought it would be more than one thing that you don't like with the LDS. Dating someone for a few months, getting engaged, being married before you've known even been a year together. That's pushing it. That's pushing it. Um, but it really depends. It really varies individual by individual. That's not something I would recommend to everybody by any means. Um, but there are probably people for whom that is perfectly reasonable. Is there? Do I have any more? Oh, wait. What did he say? Ask the fairy on the island you were born. Can I already? Don't I need the other thingy? The big old gauntlet mabobs? I'm gonna go check it out. Why not? Ugh. Why not? Let's go check it out. Yeah, all of them do it, and it sort of being the standard. Oops. That's a problem. Because then it's a social expectation, and it's pressured on people who are not suited for that sort of thing. And that's definitely an issue. You dated an LDS girl for a couple of months. She wanted to be married and be pregnant years end when we started dating. That scared you because it wasn't ready. Yeah, understandable, I suppose. I mean, look, there is something very good and very appealing about knowing what you want. But that might not be a case of knowing what you want, because in a case like that, you might not actually know enough about the person you're considering marrying. So you might not know what you want. You might think you do, but you might not. Right? And that's the actual sort of reason for dating someone, like at all, is to figure out whether this is a person that you ought to marry. And that sometimes that takes some time, sometimes that doesn't take much time at all. It really depends. You prayed for an escape and she broke up with me. God rescue you from that. Well, that's good. Man, here's the thing. Like, don't necessarily rush, but also, again, it comes down to the communication thing. Once you know what you want, express that. Um, don't necessarily just kind of hem and haw and delay about it. right? Because if you're gonna if you're gonna get married, if that's your goal, and you can determine that no, this is a woman I'd like to marry, and I think that we would be happy married, um, and that she and I can help each other get to heaven and all of those wonderful important things, and we would be able to start a good family together and all those factors, right? Um, don't wait. Then don't wait. Um, Now wait until you know all that, or can be at least morally certain of all of that. But once you're at least reasonably confident in all that stuff, then there's no reason to wait any longer. Oh, so close. If only I could fly to the top of that hill, if only. Beneath that rock head. Triumph. Oh, I nearly spoke aloud without thinking. The secret, yes, quite a secret. That hill. I can, in fact, fly a little bit. Is that how I'm supposed to do this? I know. Oh yeah, sometimes we have our head in the clouds and are waiting for the perfect person who doesn't exist. Yeah, it's this. Okay, so there's a shoe on head video that I think John shared it in Discord earlier today. That oh no, that's not gonna work. Okay, we let's see what this is. Um, Yeah, I think John shared in Discord earlier today that where she was doing that, she's watching one of those silly dating shows where the two people on their like little speed date have a button that they press when they want to reject the other person thing. And there's a woman who finds this guy who, as best she can tell, is basically perfect for her. Um, like they're both teachers. They have like some of the same hobbies. They're obviously attracted to each other. They are within 2 or 3 points of each other on a 1 to 10 scale. Let's put it that way. Maybe within 1 or 2 points. They looked great for each other. They seemed great. She liked him. He liked her. She pressed the button as soon as it turned red because she just wanted to see what her options were. And after she totally didn't vibe with any of the other guys that came around, the host was like, "Hey, do you want to ask if what's his name wanted to come back out and maybe you guys can talk some more?" She's like, "Okay, yeah, I do. See if he can come out and I want to talk to him." And he does, and then he immediately presses the red button because she rejected him in the hopes that maybe I'll find somebody better. Shut up. Don't do that. If you find somebody who is that potentially great for you, stop it. Just accept that people are not perfect, both in general or for you. Okay? Don't let the imaginary perfect be the enemy of the good. Now, the real perfect, fine. That can be the enemy of the good. That's fine. The imaginary perfect should not be. That's the real danger. Link! Lots and lots of things have happened here since you left, Link. First of all, my little brother doesn't wet the bed anymore, so that's good, I guess. Yeah, it is. And Mom kind of got chubby again. You are terrible. Oh my god, this child. Hey, you shush. And, oh yeah, and now when you feed old Link bait, he gets real excited and digs holes in the hard patches of black dirt you see around the village. He always finds treasure in them, yeah. We named the pig you caught for us and after you. I hope you don't mind. I can't believe all it takes to get Link all excited is a little bait. Talk about a dummy. The pig. He's talking about our pig, not you. Okay, wow. This kid is freaking rude. He's even ruder than the Booger brother. Good lord. Wow, that is a big pig. Holy crap. You know our pet pig? Well, to be honest, we named him after you. Lucky you. He's very smart, just like you. And just like you, when you feed him some bait, he starts digging with all his might until he digs up treasure. Wait, you don't do that. I wouldn't mind you testing your might by picking up that pig link, as long as you take him for a walk afterward. What do you say? I'm gonna try it. Let's see what I can do. Nope, too fat. Excuse me. Okay, now how the hell do I get up there? Do I go around the side? The snot kid is basically Monica. Yeah, at this point, yes. Wait, can I be a dick? That's just terrible. My precious jars. How could you? Oh, I paid her back for it. Okay, that's... I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's perfectly fair, honestly. That was very rude of me. Harplar says, not me waiting for just past 1 a.m. So I can sell off part of my rent to savings. I mean... Oh, set off part of my rent to savings. Yeah, I mean... I assume like it's a like, automatic withdrawal thing or a just due date thing. No, I need a magic. Wait, what? This isn't right. Where the hell am I supposed to go? This is not right at all. Interesting. Okay, maybe if I go over this way? I don't know. Do I need the hook shot? Do I even get a hook shot in this game? Am I insane? I do get a hook shot in this game, right? It's gotta be it, right? Oh, you're in social... Okay, social assistance and separate rent subsidy. Oh, okay, so it's separate sources. Okay, that makes sense. Before the rent subsidy by a day. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I do need bombs. And rupees and all kinds of stuff. Wait. You can glide across? I just tried it. It didn't work. Oh, wait a minute. I'm stupid, that's why. Hold on, I need to be smarter. I forgot I need to be smarter. That's important. I should probably be smarter. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? I did. I used the wind. I just started from the wrong spot. Because, like I said, I need to be smarter. Excuse me again. You know, hence the whole, snotty like Monica. Forgot I have to go up here. From here, I can do it, right? Yeah, there we go. But now I need the ogre gauntlets or whatever they are, the big old strong boy gauntlets, don't I? Or is there still stuff I can get here? Really? There we go. Got him. That'll do. Alright. Oh, hello. I don't like that. That didn't work either. That works. It's cheating, but it works. Okay, never mind. Oh, do I need a bomb for this? Oh, it's just a bomb. I could have done this ages ago. Wow, alright. Silly me. Oops. Yeah, I could have done this a good long time ago. Let's go. Let's see what this is about. I think it's the biggest wallet, isn't it? Like 5,000 or something. A truly absurd amount of rupees. Young Waker of the Winds, allow me to aid in your quest. Yep, carry more rupees. 5,000. Alright. The fairies in this fountain shall ease your weariness. When you grow fatigued from your battles, come here to be refreshed. Alright, I'm gonna take one of you little fairies with me, if you'll excuse me. I'll put you in a bottle when you're all sad. Look how sad. That's so terrible. Oh, God. Okay. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, well, that's it. That's that. Okay, that's cool. Now we can get more rupees, I guess. Oh, really? Ha! Loser. Really? Come on. It's another one of those bug things down here, right? Nah, it's over there. All right, this is the way out. So let's get out of here. Okay. 145. Let's see. We can open our Triforce chart. Start getting a couple of those Triforces. Get some Triforces. I forget. Do we need Triforce shards to like the Triforce complete to get into? Oh God. Okay, that was good. I was trying to jump in the water, but I happened to miss. I missed the ocean. These are just two parallel quests, right? The two temples and all the Triforce shards are like two things going on at the same time, roughly speaking. Yeah, I need the gauntlets. Yeah, I know I need the gauntlets next. Okay, Earth Temple. Which one do I do first? The fire or ice island? This will be for next time. This won't be for now either way. So, for now, I'm gonna open some charts. Hmm. I can probably find those Triforce bits. More treasure. Shark is right next door, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. Fire's Burst? Okay. Well, tell you what, I will go and do that next week. For right now, I'm gonna find a little bit more treasure and then call it a night. It's getting late. I've been up since like 7 this morning, so not used to that yet. I am not yet used to my new in-school schedule, so there's that. But yeah, so that's like I said, I'm probably going to call it pretty soon. Like I'm not going past midnight, that's for sure. So I'll get one, maybe two more treasures while we're still chatting, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Oh, also, fun little thing. We got the kids a bunch of little fairy lights with a little remote thing for their bedroom because they always need night lights because Saoirse's very much afraid of the dark, and Michael is afraid of anything Saoirse's afraid of. So they don't much care for it being dark in their room. So we got them some fairy lights. It's nightlight, and so I've got to go turn those off later. So they're not on all night. They are battery powered. So oh, right here. Sorry. I'll be out in 10 minutes. I can turn them off. No big deal. Although also I should be able to unlock all of the stuff here because I have the hammer now. So I should be able to get everything on Shark Island or whatever. Welcome. Hello. There you go. Say hi to the nice people. You're not gonna, are you? Okay, bye. Alright, so, yeah, anyway, so, yeah, she's gonna go do that. I was almost done. Yeah, they are battery powered, so they're LEDs, so they'll last a very long time, but still, they're battery powered, so they won't last forever. Thank you. Ah, rupees. Alright, let's see. That. Then I gotta hammer this one over here. Almost 1 a.m. in Nova Scotia. Yeah, getting there. Almost midnight here, so I'm on. So I have what? Did I get this? It's already hit. It's already punched, isn't it? Oh, do I have to do them in like some particular order or quickly or something? Or oh, there's one over there. Okay, I see it. I see it. I see it. Okay. Um. That's it, right? That's not it. Ah. Okay. Let me go up there, don't I? Or is this just more rupees? No, this is just rupees. What? Did this bird just attack and beat up a blue chew jelly? What the heck? Reset after a few seconds. They didn't. They didn't, though. I wasted a frickin' pair. That one has reset. Okay, so if I hit this one, and then really quickly go here and whack this one. Give that one a good wang doodle. Then what? That's it, right? That's it. That's all of them. That's everything. Unless, is there another one somewhere? Is there another switch? Right, that one's set, that one's set. They're all set. They're all triggered. All three of them. What'd I screw up on? I don't understand. There's an order to it, isn't there? Hold on. Let me read this. You must activate all 4 switches. You must activate them all swiftly. Danger moves at all who fail to heed my warning. I see her. Okay, but what is that one over there? Is this a bomb switch? Heartflower says she was afraid of the dark as a child. If it's not dark now, it's dark. If it's not dark, I can't sleep unless I fall asleep in front of my computer, which happened last stream. That, you know, we all do that sometimes. What is this? What is this for? Is it a bomb? Do you need to put a bomb here? Did that do anything? No. What the hell is it? I don't understand. Well... no, not like that. It's not that. What do I have? Is it anything that I can do? I don't think so. I can't think of what this is. It's all 4 switches, so something else needs to hit this last one. I just don't know what hits this. It looks like it's a butterfly or something. I'm not crazy thinking that's a butterfly, am I? Man, I don't know. Maybe I'll look it up. Maybe I'll look it up sometime between now and next week. I'll do that. Then we'll do whatever's next. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'll figure it out next time. Either I'll figure it out, or maybe I'll look it up right now, and then I'll be really embarrassed by how stupid it is, and then I'll either do it next time, or... It's not an arrow, is it? I don't think it's an arrow. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, that's all I got time for. So, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time, too. I certainly did. So, thank you one more time for joining me. I'll see you either next week or possibly Thursday, time permitting. We'll see when I get home and get ready and all that. I might, like I said, I might stream something that's relatively short this Thursday, before next week. But otherwise, good night, everyone. Remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, folks. Have a good one.